Thing is, 50% of organizations that we surveyed do not have a formal succession process in place. Do not have a formal succession process in place. However, when you look at the predictive analytics in terms of what drives operating success, it is absolutely amazing that if you do actually have a formal succession process, you increase the probability that you're going to impact operating metrics in a positive way. How many organizations in this room have isolated for their key positions at least 2 to 3 candidates who are ready now to assume those positions and identified 3 to 5 ready later candidates? How many organizations in this room have actually advanced their succession processes to that point? Show of hands. Okay, I don't see many hands going up. Interesting. If you have arrived at that point where you're actually that structured in your succession processes, higher probability you're going to drive operating success. So that's certainly an important factor. Here's another succession metric. To what extent are your succession decisions correct? To what extent are you proud of those decisions that you're making regarding who are your high potentials and who are your likely successors? If your decisions are more successful, guess what? You drive higher operating success. What an amazing concept.
John Mattone is president of Executive Development Associates, a global leadership consulting firm. John has over 30 years of experience in the fields of executive development and human capital management as an entrepreneur who has built 2 successful human capital consulting firms, as an executive of a multi-million-dollar leadership consulting firm, and as a leading researcher and author known throughout the Fortune 500 for his extraordinary speaking ability. John has consulted for more than 250 organizations and addressed more than 500,000 people in 2,000 speeches and seminars throughout the U.S., Canada, and other countries worldwide. John serves as an MBA faculty member at Florida Atlantic University, where he teaches his popular course, Global Leadership Assessment and Development. He is also an adjunct faculty member at the Owen School of Management at Vanderbilt University.
But when you look at it, you can predict economic conditions. The stock market is a leading indicator that will predict our economy. Stock market. The consumer price index is a leading indicator. It predicts our economy. Unemployment is not a leading indicator. It is what? It is a lagging indicator. Turnover in your organization is leading or lagging? It is lagging. It is too late. That's why engagement surveys are so important. Because what you want to do is you want to assess and you want to calibrate engagement before it has negative impact in your organization. So ultimately, people say, well, how do you propel an organization to success? How do you develop your current leaders? And how do you develop your future leaders? You better make sure that you're playing in the league of measuring capability, commitment, and alignment. And once you calibrate that information, you better do something with it. Alignment is when a leader is connected with the strategic mission of the organization. It's an emotional connection. How many people in this room have experienced that emotional connection with the work that you do? Show of hands. Does it feel good? It feels incredible. Let me tell you what. This factor is so important because what I see in great leaders, as I go around and I coach many executives, I am privileged to work with many executives around all of this stuff. And what I see in great leaders And what you need to cultivate in your emerging leaders, the younger people who are so talented, aren't they? There's so much talent out there. How do you identify your future leaders? They need to capture the essence of the CCA. Here's what I see. Great leaders, under the umbrella of their own capability, create an environment where their people become more capable, more committed, more aligned. Kind of sad, isn't it? We actually used to have more alignment. Alignment is very important because it is a measure of engagement. Great leaders, your future leaders have got to be people who are consistently and continuously improving their capability, commitment, and alignment. I just wrote a book on this, by the way. I'm very excited about this. The book is going to be out this fall. You know what the title of the book is? It's so creative. You're going to love this, Tom. Right? Stealth leadership, okay? How to assess and coach leaders. All right? That's the concept, okay? I wrote the book, and then I figured, hey, let me look this up. So I went, and I did some research, and I said, I wonder if a stealth fighter has 4 engines. The book's already done. So I'm sitting there saying, please.
John is a prolific author, having written 4 books as well as over 100 professional articles and book chapters, including the award-winning The Role of Assessment in Driving Operating Results, published in Jack Fitz-End's book, The New HR Analytics. John's best-selling books include Success Yourself and Positive Performance Management. His newest books, Stealth Leadership, Using Assessment and Coaching to Propel Your Leaders and Organization to Greatness, and Unlocking and Unleashing Your Executive Potential, are being heralded by leading experts, CEOs, and HR leaders as, quote, groundbreaking and innovative. John Mattone is also the co-author of one of the most recognized and globally respected research reports on leadership and executive development, the Executive Trends Research Report, published by Pearson.
There are some organizations that do better in this area than others. We have made tremendous strides. We have made tremendous strides as an industry in terms of executing at a higher level in terms of all the concepts that we've talked about so far this morning. We are doing a great job. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not doing a great job. We are doing such a good job. But question, is there room for improvement? Is there room for improvement in terms of executing this stuff at a higher level? Without question. When you get into this whole area that I call demarcation, I love that word. People get excited about that. They say, what do you mean by demarcation? Well, it is certainly the concept of separating the A players from the B players from the C players. And by the way, most organizations have actually advanced to the point where they're actually calibrating performance pretty good. To what extent are you selecting and promoting those leaders who have the highest probability of being successful? Number 2. To what extent are you objectively benchmarking and diagnosing that these individuals do have the skills and the capabilities, right? The skills and the capabilities to excel at a high level now into the future. That's what's meant by diagnosis. When you look at the pace and the complexity of business, right, that we're all under, the pace is incredible. So here's what we've discovered. If you're a great critical thinker, your ability to make great decisions goes up. You'll notice decision making on the screen, is that correct? If you are a great critical thinker, your ability to solve problems goes up. If you're a great critical thinker, your ability to be a strategic thinker goes up.